coaching this generation's real estate superstars. Harris Real Estate University.
I was getting on the plane to come here. I already had my show in Charlotte last week, and so I was ready to be anonymous on the plane. And I sat down, and a young kid, I can call him that because he was probably about 21, sits down next to me. We get to talking, and I seriously, when I get on the plane, I'm like, I'm just going to sleep. I'm not talking to anyone. No one needs to know who I am. No one's going to recognize me. And so I get on the flight with this young kid. His name's Caleb King. Watch for him. His parents live here in Laguna Niguel, and I think he's going to be a really reputable photographer one of these days. And he started talking about, oh, I need to get my camera out of my bag. I might see a good shot. We get in the conversation. By the time I'm done with this kid, about 10 minutes in, he's got a graphic designer. I've given him a web developer. And, you know, I said, what's the one thing getting in your way of becoming the photographer you want to be? And he said, ambition. So the guy sitting across the aisle from me is listening to all this, and he just blurts out in front of all of us sitting around him, I need some advice. The lady in front of me says, if this is relationship advice, don't talk to me. I don't know anything about relationships. I'm the worst person to ask. He goes, well, seriously, I do. She'd made eye contact, so she was hosed at that point. He's got her locked in. He said, no, seriously, there's this woman I knew 28 years ago when I was 21 and she was 15, and we both, you know, I'm still living in Arkansas and she's out here in LA, and I've loved her since she was 15 years old, but it wasn't right when she was that age. And he's going on and on about their separate lives, and the girl's like, really, I don't know anything. He goes, well, I'm not asking for a relationship advice. I just don't know what to say to her when I get off the plane. And I thought, all right, so much for my being anonymous, sitting here in my bubble and not talking to anyone. I said, listen, I'm an executive coach by vocation, and I would just tell you to really trust your knowing and not sit here and try to plan it all out. You know, if you've loved her for 28 years and she's expressing this might be the same case for her, then just show up and trust that you're going to know the right thing to say. So we had a nice conversation. I gave him a quote, which I'll leave you with when I go to sit down. And we got to the airport, and this 49-year-old man turned into a little kid right in front of my eyes. You know, as soon as the plane hit the ground, the eyes are sparkling, and everyone on the plane is now rallied around this guy, right? They want to see him do well. Which is the point I'm getting to in this whole story, in case you're wondering what the hell this has to do with anything I've already said. We get off the plane, and of course I'm headed to baggage claim, and he's headed straight out the door, and this little kid, Caleb, who's seriously 21, and he's giving relationship advice to this guy across me in the plane. I'm thinking, you have no idea what you're talking about, but that's okay, go for it, you know, live fully. So we both watch. Larry is the guy's name, which happens to be my father's name. As you already know, he's passed away, so I believe the universe does those little things to remind us to value. And I'm really hurrying, Tim. I'm trying to get the whole story out. So Caleb and I go down to baggage claim, and Caleb doesn't have any bags. He just walked down there, so he goes out the door, and I find myself really wanting to go back upstairs and watch what happens when Larry sees this girl he's been waiting 28 years to see, and just hear what comes out of his mouth. You know, at this point, I'm completely invested in this guy, and I want to know. But I let it go, and I'm waiting for my bag, and all of a sudden, someone taps me on the shoulder. It's Larry, and he's brought this lady downstairs to meet me. I'm still getting goosebumps just thinking about it. The point of the story is that Larry took a risk, and he reached out to people he didn't even know to get the support he needed to do the one thing that mattered to him most. This is what goal setting is about, you guys. Reaching out, even when it's to someone you don't know, and finding unbelievable support from people you never would have expected it from. So I'll leave you with this quote. It's my favorite quote, happens to be in my email signature, and that is, life is too short to wake up with regrets. So love the people who treat you right, forget about those who don't. Remember, things happen for a reason. If you get a chance in life, take it. If it changes your life, let it. Nobody said life would be easy, they just said it would be worth it. Thank you, Tim and Julie, for letting me know.
For free daily coaching, go to timandjulieharris.com. Harris Real Estate University.